Good evening, everyone, and welcome to LGE's coverage here for the San Marino Grand Prix for Monday's Limitless 1 here at LFR. And it looks like we might have a little problem with the session already, with the clock not turning over just yet, but we'll just give it a few seconds. So yeah, we're at the San Marino Grand Prix for round 7, believe it or not, for here at Imola tonight. I'm only here on my own tonight. We've got 16 drivers. Time looks like it's all about to get sorted. So 18-minute qualifying session, only 16 drivers tonight. Unfortunately, we had a few drop out last minute due to, of course, other commitments. So 18 corners around this Imola circuit here for the San Marino Grand Prix, obviously in Italy itself, and usually called the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, but we've gone with the old San Marino Grand Prix name. So if we have Apex watching, he may be able to tell me the weather for the race. Looking like a dry qualifying session, looking like some drivers like the Haas there coming out on track rather early on in the session, which may indicate a dry race later on. He does just leave the pit lane. Unfortunately today I didn't join the practice session, so I've got no intel on lap time for this qualifying session. Usually a little bit faster than it is in practice, the qualifying. We're only seeing crossfires out on track, and now Cairo, who is also out on the circuit, reserving tonight in the AlphaTauri. Of course, their home race here at Imola, their home base, not too far away in Fiorano. Comes down towards turn 7 of Tosa here. And we now have a few more drivers coming out on track, a swarm of drivers now onto their outlap, seeing the Williams and Tay Pastor obviously fighting for that championship at the moment, in second place with Stinos in the lead of the championship, and does have a quali ban to his name tonight, so won't be seeing him out on track maybe for a outlap. But if so, he should be out very, very soon indeed. We haven't got any drivers yet to start a lap, but Crossfires will be the first man, and he is about to start a lap, so we'll ride with him as he starts his first flying lap, first of the day. So he goes through the slight kink of turn 1, and then we get to the second corner, which is the first braking zone of the lap, which is the Tamburello chicanes, turns 2, 3 and 4 consecutively, as we now power through the gears and on to Vilna chicane, the quick left-right here, and through turn 6, and now down to turn 7 of Tosa, as he bails out of that. It looks like he's made a rather serious mistake on the apex and now bails out of that lap. We've got the AlphaTauri of Cairo, instead reserving right on the limit on the exit of turn 6, and now into turn 7, as well as Crossfires ahead, who made the mistake, and now powering up the hill to Piratella. Turn 9, quick, just lift off the throttle, power through, try and get as much exit speed as possible, as we now go on the run down to Acqua Minerale, as you go through the right-hander and then up the hill on the left. Make sure to watch out for track limits on the left-hand side. As you run down the hill, there is Crossfire strikes in the Haas on the right-hand side, going through the right-left chicane of knew I was going to get one of them wrong eventually. Variante Alta, as we now come down to the final 2 corners of Ravazza 1 and 2. And see what time he sets. Will be the first man to set a time, so the benchmark will be set at a 1:15.324. And Crossfire sets a lap after him, but of course did make that mistake. Looks like he's going to go straight on to his second flying lap now on the soft tyres. We'll get the tyre graphics up to see what everyone is on. Everyone's going for the soft tyres. Riding with James here as he comes through Acqua Minerale and on to Variante Alta chicane. Small straight, no DRS here of course, only the one DRS straight here at Imola. As Tay sets the fastest time, takes provisional pole with a 1:14.9, so got 4/10 in his pocket over Cairo at the moment in second place. South Pancake is at the bottom of the timesheets at the moment, the drivers who have set times. a 1:45, so we'll be going again now in the Scarlet Red Ferrari. Technically a home race for them, of course, as well, as it is in Italy, as the curbs do definitely give it away here as he comes down to turn 7. Toza definitely looks like he's on a lap. Crossfire strikes definitely improves from his first lap that wasn't representative at all, and Crossfires takes provisional pole now with a 1:14.5. He's slightly down in the championship at the moment. Took the win last time out in Spain. And Stinos has retired from the session. That was due to his quali ban to be served. So we're going to go to Anthony, and just as I say that, he crosses the line, goes 4th fastest with a 15.4. And South Pancake now moves himself up into 3rd, improved on his last time. He was bottom of the standings, of course, with that 1:45, which obviously wasn't a quick lap. As we see now Tim Schwab, the other man that had a quali ban to retire. So Stenos will be at the back of the grid, followed by Tim Schwab in 15th place. Looks like Civi is set time. Chemjazz Veloce is just set time, comes back after his race ban from last week. Flying himself too many penalty points. Had to sit out of the Spanish Grand Prix, but is back for Imola. Mid-table at the moment in the standings, around the 26-point mark. I think he's on an in-lap, but he really certainly is pushing on the in-lap, getting a bit of extra practice in for his next flying laps. We see Trunders starting his first lap in the Alfa Romeo. Technically their closest circuit to home as well, I think, geographically, as he comes down into Villeneuve. As Veloce has retired. He's retired just there. That was interesting. Must have been on a quick lap for a second attempt, but did not come off well for him. As now he will be starting towards the back of the grid. Kalirov is also retired from the session as well, and just noticed that. Not sure how long ago that happened, only a few seconds ago. Surely his Trunders now comes down to Aqua Variante Alta, just gone to Aqua Minerale, as we come down now to Ravazza 1 and 2. Qualifying has definitely not been Trunders' strong point this season, starting towards the back for the majority of the first 6 races. See where it puts him on the standings. 11th. Fastest of 11th drivers to set times. Apex Finley's on the mediums. The only man on the medium tyres about to start his first lap. We've got Amir Guna, who is on a lap. Really taking quite a wide line there through the exit of Toza. As we come to Piratella, so you've got to be really aggressive with your exit there. Gain as much exit speed as possible as we come down to Aqua Minerale. This 3-corner complex, it's very, very technical, and that second of the 3 corners is probably the most technical, with the front end going really, really light through the apex as it goes through Variante Alta rather nicely, as we now run down the hill towards Ravazza 1 and 2, turns 17 and 18 consecutively, and we'll power towards the start-finish line. It's looked like a pretty tidy lap from Amir Guna. Second Ferrari's in 3rd at the moment. Where's Amir going to go? He goes 8th fastest. And now we'll go to Apex Finley, who has invalidated his lap time. So we'll have to go again. It depends whether he goes again on the medium tyres, which is looking like the case. He's warming them up, so it's a pretty assured thing he's going to have another go at it. The only man not to set a time, apart from Cali Rob, the other 2 were not able to cross the line to start a lap. Gets right up against the pit wall now on the start-finish straight as we come down towards turns 2, 3 and 4. And just powering out of Tamburello now and down towards Villeneuve, this other short straight. It's short straights followed by chicanes in sector 1. As we go through the hairpin of turn 7 of Toza. Got the Williams not really getting out of the way there as best as possible. Might want to get a bit further over to the left-hand side, right of your screens. He goes wide through Piratella and invalidates his lap time. As you see the red track map go on the right-hand side of your screen. So Apex is going to have to go again. And unfortunately, we can't see the clock at the moment because the yellow flags are out. It says about 7 minutes there, so we've got plenty of time to get another lap in. Not sure if he's got enough time to do 2. It's quite a short lap here. But that really is pushing the envelope of time. This Crossfires goes even faster there with a 14.3. Really settling to qualifying. Third time's the charm for Apex Finley. He goes again in the Aston Martin as he comes through turn 4. And into Villeneuve, still really on the limit, as on the limit as possible. Has got Cairo just behind him. He must have thought he was just finishing a lap and he wasn't. So that is a bit of a misjudgment there from the AlphaTauri. As he's right on the edge of track limits there, Apex Finley, but doesn't invalidate this time. So is he going to be able to complete the lap? I think both attempts before was invalidated at turn 9. Piratella, as he now invalidates Variante Outer. So he's now only got 1 lap, but he will have to go to the soft tyres shortly. I don't think he's going to have another go at this. Maybe he is. You have to give it to him. He's persistent. We're going to go again for a 4th time. We'll leave him this time. We've stayed with him for quite a while. James has invalidated. Sad Pancake is just behind, looking like he's on a flyer at the moment as he comes through Variante Outer. And down this short stretch towards turn 17. And 18, Ravazza 1, and now Ravazza 2. He goes wide and too wide, but there's the pit entry, so he will be able to get another lap in. But he must have been on a better lap as he was still really on the limit through turn 18, or maybe he wasn't. That's why he was so on the limit. We don't know. Maybe we don't know, Joe, because you haven't got the lap delta up. That'd be a good one. As Apex Finley has invalidated again. So I think the time has come for him to pit and go onto the soft tyres for potentially a 1 shot. So got a couple of drivers on their outlaps. Everyone else is in the pits apart from the McLaren of Azure F Wings, who is invalidated his lap time. So there is no one on a lap at the moment being able to set a validated lap time. A few more drivers now coming out onto their outlaps. And just as we're in this moment of calm, really appreciate all of the subscribers recently. We were aiming to hit 200 by the end of the season, so late May, early June sort of time, and we're right on the way. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It is a big help and a lot of support for me and all the other people who run this 3 days a week. Love every minute of it, but the support is very much appreciated. As we're seeing Tay Pasta come through turn 7. He's a little bit squirrely there on the exit as he now comes through Piratella, who we've seen a load of invalidations there, but he leaves a little bit of room for error as he comes through Variante outer. No room for error though there, and now he's out of qualifying in this San Marino Grand Prix. And the highest he will now start is second place. I was just about to say it's a bit treacherous around Acqua Minerale, and as I said, the front end does get light, and you saw it there as James gets right in the way of Cairo, I think. And I think Cairo's just slowed down just to show his displeasure. James's awareness there. As we now see Apex Finlay on his outlap, and of course now on the soft tyre. He's the only man to set a lap, and Azura is actually now coming out onto the medium tyre. So this is going to be an interesting one. He'll be the only man that will be setting a lap on the medium tyre in the final stages of the qualifying. We've only got a few minutes to go, if that. We have got drivers out on laps. As Crossfire Strikes, who's on provisional pole at the moment, the number 2 Haas invalidates through Tamburello. As I said, we've still got the yellow flags, just drivers going a little slowly, letting other drivers through. It does give yellows instead of blues, unfortunately. So unfortunately you get the lap counter and yellow flags. So we've got just over a minute to go, so Crossfires can get another lap in. He has got enough time. And we just see Amir Guna get himself on the front row, moves Tay down to 3rd place. Of course, he can't improve now. But Amir Guna, that was a cracking lap from the man in the Ferrari in one of their home races. He's going very, very slowly on the start-finish straight, just trying to let drivers through. I think he's just done that now. So Crossfires has invalidated. We'll watch Apex. We have watched him quite a lot in this qualifying session, but he's yet to set a lap time. But he hasn't invalidated this time. He's got to leave some margin. He might try 2 laps. He does go purple in set 2, which of course means he's gone fastest of all in this session as he now runs down towards Ravazza 1 and 2 as he comes over the crest and through turn 16 into 17 and 18. Right on the limit of turn 17 and right on the limit of 18 as he now crosses the line, has enough time to do another if he wants, and goes 3rd fastest. So that was a better time, very, very close to the Sour Pancake, 6 thousandths of a second between the two of them. Cairo is setting really good lap times and is in 4th place at the moment. So the AlphaTauris at their home event, their true home event, are on the 2nd row of the grid. Civi is in the pits. He's not going to be able to set a better time. Crossfire Strikes has retired. Doesn't think he's going to get beaten now. And Azure is coming across the line. I don't think he's got enough time to go again. 2-1. That's it. He needed a few more seconds. But that's the end of his qualifying. So now we've got to work out who are the next drivers to cross the line. Looks like it's going to be Sour Pancake, but he is definitely not on a flying lap. Got Apex, who is going slow. Cairo, who is going slow. James is on a flyer though, so we will stick with him. Because I think everyone else behind is going slowly. Actually, no, I don't. I think Chemjazz. Oh no, Chemjazz is just behind James. So keep an eye out for that. The clouds are coming in. The track temperature is going to start to come down a little bit, which will give the drivers just a little bit more grip in the end stages of this qualifying session. We are literally in the last few moments as he comes across the line. He's got 7th place to beat. He does. He goes 5th. Jumps up a few places to the 14.8. What's Kem going to do? Comes across the line, stays 10th with a 15.5. That is now the end of qualifying. So Tay really did fall down the order at the end of the session. So I think we're just going to wait for Apex and Cairo to be backed into the garage. So that is the conclusion of the San Marino qualifying session here at Imola. So the rain has just started as well in the background as Crossfires takes pole position with a 1:14.351. The Sad Pancake takes second place on the front row. Apex Finley is third. Cairo's fourth. James is fifth. Amir Guna is sixth. Seventh is Tay Pasta. Eighth is Anthony. Ninth is Azure Wings. Chemjazz is 10th. 11th is Veloce. Sibiru is 12th. 13th is Trunders. Tim Shapop is 14th. 15th is Cairo. And 16th is Stinos. And the last man on the grid. So yeah, the rain had just started to come down. We're not sure what the weather's going to be like in the Grand Prix. I've been a cloud, but looking like it's going to be okay. So we're just waiting for the drivers to sort out their race strategies. Of course, top 10 start on what they qualified on. So we're just waiting for some drivers to ready up. I think this lobby's a little bit slow today. I think I was hosting the lobby today, which is can sometimes cause some issues when the spectator is hosting. The glories of the F1 2021 game. Very, very buggy. So we've got 10 seconds to go until, of course, the formation lap. And we'll have to see what the drivers outside the top 10, the 6 drivers outside the top 10 are on. So we'll have a quick look. Just let me get my bearings a second. So Veloce is on the hard tyres. That's an interesting one. That stands out straight away. And then it literally goes soft, medium, soft, medium, soft for all the other drivers. So 3 of the drivers are on the soft, 2 are on the mediums, and 1 driver is on... 3 are on the softs. Yeah, 3 on the soft, 2 on the mediums, and 1 is on the hard tyre. The hard tyres just throw me out completely there. I was not expecting that. So it's a strange one today, being on my own. I'm not, if anyone's watching this for the first time, I'm not usually on my own on a Monday. I've usually either got Lee or Barry, Mr. Basil or Flea 1986, who race tomorrow night. Make sure you check that out as well. Tomorrow night for the... She's gone. I think it's the Spanish Grand Prix. Tomorrow, yes, the Spanish Grand Prix tomorrow. For Tuesday, so make sure to check that out. That will be Chemjazz, the man here in the Williams, and usually Big Ware. I'm not sure if he's going to be commentating tomorrow. He's been flying all over the place, I think, recently, going to London. Well, really just going to London, but he's always all over the place. But he was racing tonight in the Aston Martin, so Apex hasn't got his teammate with us. Yeah, we'll be at Spain tomorrow. Spain tomorrow with Chem. But tonight, of course, we're here at Imola for the San Marino Grand Prix. How about later on in the year for Tuesday? I think that's in the second half of the year. So we're just waiting for Crossfires to form up. 32 laps. There's the pit strategy for everyone. It's just a one stop, so that's maybe why Veloce has gone to the hard. So that is an interesting one. So we are about to get under the way. We've got a smaller grid tonight, only 16, 4 not with us tonight. And I'm with my lonely old self for this one, first time this year. So we're about to get ready as we see the lights going underway. We've got 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And we're away for Monday's Limitless 1 San Marino Grand Prix, and Crossfires has got a good start, but the South Penkeng looks like he's got a better one. Is there a Williams off on the grass there as we come down towards turn 2 of Tamburello, and Crossfire still maintains the lead as we go through turn 3 and now turn 4. The tight section there may cause some drivers some issues. We've got a driver there, Tepasa, going round the outside, now makes contact with Apex Finley. Apex now moves up into third place. And we're seeing other drivers at Cairo trying to go around the outside, with James in the Alfa Romeo on the inside at Toza as we now come up the hill. The Mercedes getting out of shape there in the background, as Tay has now made up 3 places and now in the top 4. And the top 3, of course, still separated by absolutely nothing as we now run through Variante Outer, and Tay Pastor has already got himself a 3-second time penalty 2/3 of the way through this lap. As we see them into Variante Outer, all getting through rather nicely there as we watch them all into the background. And Civi has lost a bit of time there, and Stinos has not moved up any places as of yet, but Tim Chapot has gained 4 so far, and on the back of that Red Bull of Anthony just ahead of him. Crossfires, of course, takes the fastest lap. Apex Finley has now moved up into second place. It looks like he's got some good speed here in the Aston Martin as we run through turns 2, 3 and 4 of Tamburello, and now we're down towards Villeneuve. Just seeing the Aston Martin getting a little out of shape there. The 2 drivers are in the pits, Civi and Stinos. Obviously had damage from that lap 1, but of course no VSC or safety car. All the drivers are very, very close together at the moment. A real train of cars. Tim Chapot has got the move on Anthony, but Anthony's now round and caused a massive incident with Trunders, who is out of the Grand Prix. Cali Rob gets himself a time penalty, and does Anthony. That's a virtual safety car deployed. May upgrade itself to a safety car. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch that just in time. Just before this race, 5-second time penalty, gaining 1 place for Cali Rob. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but Cali is, of course, now coming into the pits. Anthony is going to as well. Don't think this is going to get upgraded to a safety car. It sometimes does. We're down to 16 on lap 3. The incident, of course, having a lap ago on lap 2. 3 drivers are in the pits. Not sure if Stinos is going to be able to gain any places if we now go green, but he is going to be able to power down the start-finish straight, and it is a long old straight, so we'll just quickly see if anything materialises from this. I think it will. Stinos is going to overtake Anthony as well, or potentially. This is actually going to be very close between the 2 of them. Stinos does just go through on Anthony. There is a yellow flag. James is round potentially, I think. Yes, he is. He's still pirouetting on the gravel. Gets himself back on the circuit. But we will get racing again, or will we? As Anthony is now out of the San Marino Grand Prix. Just went towards the back there and he lost it at Villeneuve. That might be a safety car. Doesn't look like it's going to be though, so now down to 14. Sometimes there are a lot of mistakes at this circuit, and it's very hard to keep on the limit, especially with those big yellow sausage curves on the apexes of corners as we're on board, or sorry, just watching Apex Finley in the close fight for first place as he takes purple sector 1. Championship leader at the moment is down in 12th place as Chemjazz has lost the position to Tim Chapot. Cali Rob has just overtaken Civi The clouds are dissipating and it's brightening up in this northern part of Italy. Not sure if we're going to see a move here. I think he's a little bit too far back, is Apex Finley. I think he's just reserving his batteries, you can see on his wheel there. In the middle of his wheel, just that little yellow bar and a little overtake yellow tab above. That's how much battery he's got left, around the 30% mark. We've got this big train of cars forming up with Te Pasta at the front of it. Sour Pancake got a little bit of margin, just racing on his own at the moment. Not really any margin for error though, just got a bit of breathing space. See the top two now, separated by a few tenths. You have to be really close to get a move done there, as Amiaguna is now around. Losing it in the same place. It's one of those corners, as I said, the front end just goes a little bit light, really catches drivers off guard. Now Crossfires is trying to get out of the slipstream of Apex Finley. He is closing up the gap, but he wasn't closing it up soon enough. He does get closer. As I just said, not close enough. Cairo was very close to the back of Te Pasta there. As we went into Tamburello, and now on the exit of Tamburello. So you've got another yellow flag. It's Tim Chapop that's out. That could be a safety car, and is. So we're already down 13 drivers in this race. Stenos is into the pits. So of course I think the front runners are going to pit as we are on lap 6, and they're all on the soft tyres, so that would be a smart call. This might have been a really good call though from Veloce, of course, being on the hard tyres, and of course the only man on the hard tyres. Got to watch out for those drivers like Major who just pit on the mediums, whether he's going to pit again or not. I wouldn't say that's likely, as Crossfire stays out. Apex comes into the pits, the Sour Pancake comes into the pits, of course Te Pasta follows as well. Chem Jazz as well. Veloce will stay out. Amiaguna is into the pits. James is into the pits. I'm sure Azure will stay out as well. He may overtake a couple of these cars. So it's interesting that Crossfire stayed out. Veloce is looking in a very, very good position at the moment. Even though he's yet to pit, when he does pit, he'll be more than likely to go on to the soft tyres. And Azure does move up a few places just ahead of Chem Jazz and just behind Cairo. So we will get a couple of laps of this safety car. Especially you're seeing on your track map, the final three drivers really got quite a lot of time to catch up on, as they're just going down the start-finish straight at the moment. So I think the safety car will be in, not this lap, I think it'll be the next lap, as Cali Rob has still got a lot of track to race on before he catches up to the back of the pack. So we'll probably get racing on lap 10 here. We've got a high rate of attrition already. Crossfire Strikes is on the soft tyre. This is going to be a long safety car, so it is going to help him somewhat. It's going to hold the tyre life a little bit more, bring the lap counter down a little bit for him when he does need to pit, but it's just a big risk. Apex is looking really good. To be fair, it's interesting what's going to happen for Veloce if he can hold on to a reasonable top spot. Only time will tell. I think Cali Rob will catch up at the end of this lap, and I said we'll get racing again on lap 10. As you see, Cali Rob still got a bit of time to catch up on. He's trying to go as fast as possible to catch up. And he's definitely going to catch up, I think, before the safety car gets to the end of this lap. He's only got a few corners to catch up to the pack. He's going to catch up at the most ideal time as well, as his tyres, of course, are going to be really nice and warm by the time he catches up to the back of the queue. And it's just as long as he maintains the heat in the tyres. The safety car is in this lap. It was out for long enough. And there he is, there's Cali Rob in the background. Crossfire Strikes is going to get the pack underway again. Keeping quite a high speed. It'll be interesting when he goes. Which is going to be very soon, as the line is coming up and we're away again here at ML1 as he goes across the start-finish line to start lap 10. And Trunders is now left the session as we go on the run down towards turn 2. On the soft tyre is going to hold out long enough for Crossfire Strikes. His Apex is trying to make a lunge and now going to try and go around the outside. Now it turns to the inside towards Villeneuve, but he isn't going to go for it into turn 5. So we now go into Tozer at turn 7. As we've seen Kem Jazz and Amir Guna fighting side by side through turn 7 as we run up the hill towards Piratella. Through the kink of turn 8, and now Piratella turn 9, and now down the hill once again. It really is a roller coaster ride here at Imola as we come through turn 11, 12 and 13 of Aqua Minerale, as we see as your F wings facing the wrong way at the end of the safety car. Tate Pasta has now got himself some damage and now hit another car as well of James, and he's fallen down the order as well. The two championship rivals are down in 9th and 10th, and it looks like Stenos is going to overtake Tate Pasta as he has no more wing, and Civi is going to go on the inside as well, as Cali Rob Tay is now going to have to pit for a new front wing and hope for a safety car. Apex Finley is in the pits as well, probably for a new front wing. Well, it's going to be for sure for a new front wing as we go through Tamburello for the 11th time today. Veloce at the moment holding his own in second place. Crossfire Strikes has pulled away somewhat. Go through turn 8, and now turn 9, and the AlphaTauri is in a Ferrari sandwich at the moment. As you see Cairo there, just went a little bit off the track, and that would have been the third time of him doing that. Gets himself a 3-second time penalty for the privilege. So we now run down the hill towards Ravazza 1 and 2. I think his DRS already enabled. It is now, as Crossfire Strikes is now into the pits. He's just going to fall all the way down the order. I don't know why he didn't pit under the safety car. That was an interesting one from Crossfire. He's going to come out in 11th place on fresh mediums, however, but got so much time to catch up on everyone else ahead of him as they're running through turn 7 now, and Veloce now is in the lead, but he's got a pack of cars behind him ready to take that lead away from him. So he comes through turn 10 and now 11, 12 and 13 again of Aqua Minerale, watching the front end get a bit light there, as we've seen a few drivers have incidents in that sequence of corners into Variante Auto. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Looks like a Williams off the track of Tay Pasta. Now back onto the circuit. Sad Pancake is only a couple of tenths behind the McLaren ahead of him. Another familiar sight this week. We've seen a lot of McLaren Ferrari in the past, and of course last year as well, fighting for that third place in the championship. Constructors, of course, is now the Sad Pancake goes on the inside at turn 1. As we get down to the first braking zone, he's ahead. The AlphaTauri of Cairo doesn't look to gain a place there as Stinos has moved up on Chemjaz. So we have a couple of gaggle of cars at the moment. We've got the top 4 and then 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th all together. Got a yellow flag there. Looks like Amir Guna is round. Back on the circuit and now loses place to Sibiru, which she gives up. And Sad Pancake. Veloce was himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That would have been on the exit of Variante Auto, that's for sure. He's now just dropped down a DRS range with Veloce ahead, so not got that to defend against Cairo, so may now be a sitting duck for the man in the AlphaTauri. And was as Cairo now moves up on Chemjaz and has been falling down the order. Stinos moves up on James and was round the outside. It's the optimal line for an overtake as James looks like he's going to try and fight back. Is he? No. Thinks better of it as they go into the Villeneuve chicane. As we go into Tosa at turn 7. As James gets a real big snap of oversteer on the mid-corner of turn 7, and Calirob goes past James on the inside before Piratella moves up into 5th place, the man that was reserving in the McLaren for a few races. Couldn't take a full-time seat. James clipped the rear of Calirob. Wasn't used to being in traffic there and braked just a little too late. Anthony has now left the session. Chemjaz has been seeing a few mistakes from his fellow admin ahead. He's going to hope for a few more, I suppose, as we come around turn 18. Two tenths between the top 2. The two main teams at their home races, Arguably there is Alfa Romeo as well, but these two teams their cars are built in Italy, and of course AlphaTauri, as I said before, very, very close to the Imola circuit. Fiorano, the two home teams fighting for the win at the moment between the Sour Pancake and Cairo. Don't think they're going to be able to go to the end. We'll pit again for soft tyres. Veloce still keeping pace with the top two on the hard tyres. Good signs for him. If he stays in third place, it's going to look very, very good for him as the pack is just starting to spread out. And this gives him more chance to have a better position on track when he comes out of the pits, but then of course it's harder to overtake drivers once you're back out on the circuit on the quicker tyre. So it will be interesting to see what he does. I don't think Cairo is going to go for the move this time. He's not using overtake, so I think he is just going to bide his time a little bit. 2 tenths between Cairo and James. James is pushing the limits of the circuit. We saw through Tamburello as we go through Villeneuve. Doesn't try it. Toza is almost close enough for a little lunge on the inside potentially. As we go through the mid-section of the circuit, sector 2 of course. Not really any places to overtake here. Which is sometimes a problem with these old school circuits, of course, being quite narrow with these big wide cars. Quite short straights, with not a huge amount of potential to get an overtake lined up as we come through Ravazza 2 and onto the start-finish straight. Callywell is gaining on Stinos ahead. The championship leader is down in 4th place. Rival is out of the points at the moment, and we'll desperately be hoping for a safety car to bunch up the order again. Stinos is not looking overly comfortable at the moment. From the helicopter as we go in to Variante Alta, sparks flying from the Alpine. Just watching them into Ravazza 1 and 2. And seeming to struggle to follow somewhat through the final section. James is getting pretty close. All three of them are getting pretty close together. Callie thought about it for a moment, but then thought better of it as Crossfire Strikes does move up into 9th place. Top 3 are all still very close together as well. The hard tyres are holding out rather nicely for Veloce over the moment. 17 laps on those hard tyres. Not sure when he's going to pin for new ones. I guess will be for softs. Cairo goes nice and wide through turn 17. There's short bit of straight between the two corners. himself a nice wide line to get a really good exit onto this long start-finish straight. Go through the kinks of turn 1, now the heavy braking of turn 2. Little lift through turn 3, and a flat through turn 4. Now on the run to turn 5 and 6. The Villeneuve chicane in turn 7 now at Tosa. As we go back to this battle behind, Callywell is getting a lot of pressure from James behind. So now, I think Callywell has got himself in a much better window for a chance for an overtake here, as it now opens the DRS. Within 5/10, he's got himself a really good chance, and has got himself a good chance. He's going to go around the outside, and he's going to get it done before the braking zone. Nice and easy is now Veloce is going to want these two to fight as hard as possible to give himself his best a chance when he does go into the pits. Crossfire strikes, moves out into 8th place now. This is a man on a mission who didn't pit under the safety car. I think that may have cost him dearly, as he's got a real big gap to make up to the drivers ahead of him after he dispatches of Kemjas, who runs through turn 7, goes quite wide there, does Kemjas, struggling in the circuit. 3/10 separate the top two. Pancake wants that first place back, and in doing so gets himself a 3-second time penalty. The top three have all got themselves a time penalty. Stinos from the back of the grid is now moving himself up towards the front. We've got a yellow flag with Tay Pasta off at Tamburello. Crossfire's made a mistake. Sibiru has took back that 8th place. So it looks like Crossfire is now had to pit again due to damage. It's all gone away from him in the latter stages of this race. In a second, separate the top two still. Still wondering when Veloce is going to do his first pit stop of the day, first and only pit stop, if the race goes his way. Change for the lead of the race. Down towards turn 2. This Pancake is close enough to have an attempt here, plenty close enough, as he gets quite a good exit, but Veloce doesn't, gets himself in a spot of bother there, and maybe he's pushed the hard tyres a little too far. He is going to have to potentially pit now. He doesn't, he carries on, and Cairo now loses the lead. I said, sorry, we were just watching Veloce have a spin. Callywell has moved himself up. James is going to maybe try and want to get involved in these overtakes ahead of him, as he could get himself onto the podium if he gets himself out of that time penalty window. Very good race at the moment. So is Cairo, of course, and reserving tonight for Rudy. start finish straight once again onto lap 23. Cairo might go for the move here. It's looking pretty close to, he doesn't think about it though. As you see Stinos and James side by side through Tamburello. They're still side by side as they're now going to come through turn 4 and now on the run down towards Villeneuve, who is going to yield to this position as we see James on the inside now as there's a bit of contact between the two of them. They're going to go into Tozer at turn 7, still by side. James is now on the outside. They've been side by side for the entirety of the start of this lap as we now come up to turns 8 and 9 as we go over the crest of the hill and into Piratella. Still side by side again. They're putting on a show as James does go slightly off the track to give enough space and now has to yield to Stinos and now just hits the rear and gets a snap to the light. The front end of the car goes really light through Aqua Minerale as James gives himself a 3-second time penalty. As Amiguna goes on to the intermediate tyres. Interesting one. Does that mean we're going to see some rain in this race? Or is that just a mistake as Veloce's into the pits? James now gets that 4th place and the rain has started. Veloce's onto the inters. He's not actually pitted yet in this race. This is his first pit stop, so that hard strategy at the start is played out absolutely beautifully. Amiguna might have pulled off a bit of a blinder here, pitting just before the rain started, but it's not coming down heavy enough yet. Front drivers might be struggling, but they will be going faster. It depends if the Sour Pancake dives into the pits at the end of this lap or not. Veloce's took the gamble, as well as Amiguna. We've got Apex, got Kenjaz on a new set of soft tyres. That's an interesting one from the Canadian as he comes through the Villeneuve chicane, fellow Canadian, as we come around Tozer at turn 7. Canadian, should I say, the family of Villeneuve's, as he now loses the rear. Maybe that was the wrong choice for Kenjaz as Apex goes through the top 2 pits. Going to go on to the intermediate. Cali Rob decides he's going to go for another lap. Is that safety car, that red Mercedes in the background, they're going to be needed in this stage of the race with the rain coming down. Got a yellow flag. Commentator's curse potentially there, sorry Cam. As we now see a lot of drivers into the pits. Veloce is coming around the final corner. Has he pulled a good in here or not? We'll see as he comes down the start finish with a yellow flag again. As Veloce now moves himself up the order a little bit more and he's going to go up into 7th place. Caliron has made an interesting call here because he's definitely going to have to pit this lap now. But I think that was a lap too late. DRS has been disabled, which is usually a pretty sure thing that the intermediates are the better tyre. So 5/10 separating Stinos and James. Kenjaz is in the pits now for some intermediate tyres as well as Tate Pasta. And yeah, now Calirob is into the pits. Depends where he's going to come out though on the circuit as Azure goes wide through Variante Alta. As you see Stinos on the inside of Ravazza 1 and they're side by side again. But Stinos does have that in the bag. Calirob is now coming out of the pit. Stinos and James is coming down the start-finish straight. He's going to get out ahead of those two. Is James going to look to the inside at Tamburello? Shaw is into the pits. Looks like he got himself a bit of wing damage. Apex is coming down the start finish as well as Crossfire strikes. The closest fight on track at the moment is between Stinos and James. Just see what they can come up with in the final few laps of this race. No one told me it was going to be mixed conditions or a chance of mixed conditions, but there you go, nice little surprise for everyone. 5/10 separates Cali Rob as Cairo is now around and spun in these wet conditions. Looking like it's not too wet as Veloce has now had himself bit of an off, but was able to keep it out of the wall. Looked like Cairo might have joined the track a little unsafe there. And that is going to have cost Veloce valuable time. So it looks like the race has just calmed down a little bit. I think there's only the potential for some mistakes to happen. Just wait to see what some of these drivers are going to do in the latter part of this race. Let's see if anyone can close up any of these gaps. The gaps are pretty much equal between first and second and third. I've got a back marker in between the two of them, and he is going to have to get himself out of the way. And he does. They come very close together though. It looks like the track is just starting to brighten up. Crossfire strikes is out, and that's a safety car deployed. So we're going to have a couple of laps of action here. It looks like Tay Pastor might be able to get himself. It depends what everyone does. It depends what everyone does. So if he gets the opportunity to unlap himself, which I don't think is going to be the case. Unlaps himself with one. I mean, you are able to unlap yourself, so I haven't got a problem. I don't think the stewards would have a problem with that. Just needs to unlap the leader. Pancake hit, doesn't hit. I think Tay probably will retire because he won't really get himself any points, and he'll be a lap down, and he does retire. There's nothing else he can really do, unfortunately. He's got himself in spot by, so there's only 11 drivers left. We've had quite a lot of drivers out, a few drivers down to begin with, of course. Only 11 drivers left. And has the rain stopped? Has the rain stopped? I don't think so. So we'll have a look at the penalty situation 3 seconds. And Stinos, who had a quali ban, he was right down the order for the first stages of the race, is now in 3rd place. His championship rival is out of the race. It's looking like he can stretch his advantage. After the checkered flag of this Grand Prix. Got Kemjaz in the pits, so he's going to have to catch up this lap, because I'm pretty sure it will come in next lap with the amount of laps we have remaining. He's gone on to the wets. Interesting call from Kem. Depends on everyone else is going to do that. I don't think that is going to happen. Yeah, we have to get going at the end of this lap, so Kem needs if Kem, if you're listening, buddy, you need to hurry up, because it will come in at the end of this lap. He's got a bit of a tall order to do here now, as we're going to have 2 laps of this race. It doesn't look likely that the Sour Pancake is going to get it, because he needs to get 3 seconds advantage over the drivers, 2 drivers behind him. So it's looking like it's going to be a race between Callie and Stinos, seeing as James has got 9 seconds, he's out. Veloce's going to be out as well, most likely. Cairo has got himself 3 seconds as well. Civi's looking in a good position, as well as Azure with no penalties. As Kemjaz is coming down the start-finish straight. And they're just coming up to Sector 3. It's going to be safety car in this lap, and he's not going to have caught up to the back of the queue. Slowing the pack up, he's going to have to get the launch of his life out of this final corner, I think, to gain any time, as Kemjaz has got absolutely no hope of catching up to the back of the grid, so he'll be finishing 11th if it stays as it is, as he gets away again for the second restart at Imola. And it looks like Stinos is right under the rear wing of the Mercedes of Calirob. Looks to the inside towards Tamburello we go. An instant between the two of them there. Looks like they're okay though. They made a bit of contact. James gets himself through, or tries to, as they make a bit of contact as well. He goes off onto the gravel. Oh, and he's out and now into the wall. It's going to come into... That is unfortunate. We've got other drivers behind getting involved. Kem is going to be up into the points. There isn't going to be a safety car for that, as we're too far into this race. As you get towards the front, that's an absolute shame. He was just a little aggressive there, was James, and didn't come onto the track as safely as he probably could have done. That might go to the steward's room. Top 3 separated by a second, just over a second between each of them. Is all right on the limit. Sour Pancake, he's got a lot of work to do in his final lap of this race. He's got 2 seconds of work to do, to be precise. So it looks like this is a fight between Kali and Stinos for the win. That's what Kali's going to have to concentrate on as well, because I don't think the Sour Pancake is going to make up 2 seconds in this final lap, and we have started the final lap now. The drivers have just got to give it absolutely everything now in this final lap. They can use all the battery they have left. They'll have a load of it from the end of that safety car with all that recharge they would have done. Stinos can do. It's looking pretty treacherous now. Maybe it would be time for wet tyres. But I think Ken took a massive gamble that just did not pay off for him, unfortunately. He's going to get himself a point, though, just for staying on the black stuff for the entirety of the race. The Sad Pancake makes a big mistake there, goes wide, and he takes a warning. It's probably far enough ahead to arguably be able to keep that position, but he's going to lose it anyway as we come to the end of this race. Stinos didn't have an answer for Cali Rob in the final 2 laps of this Grand Prix. As a Sad Pancake comes around the final corner of Vatsa 2 for the 32nd and last time, he crosses the line to win but a moment as Cali Rob wins the San Marino Grand Prix with Stinos in second and Sad Pancake in third. Sibiru takes 4th place, Cairo is 5th. That rounds out the top 5. We're just waiting for Chemjazz now, who's quite a way back. The wet tyres does not look like that was the best option for the Williams man. See Kem cross the line in 10th and last, so we had 7 people out of this race, and Cali Rob gets driver of the day. So the American wins the San Marino Grand Prix. Cali Rob takes the win. Stinos is in second. Sad Pancake is third. Sibiru is 4th. 5th is Cairo. 6th is Veloce Ayub. 7th is Apex Finley. Azure is 8th. 9th is Ami Aguna. And final driver to finish the race was Chemjazz in 10th. James, Tay Pasta, Crossfire Strikes, Tim Shipop, Anthony and Trunders all did not finish this San Marino Grand Prix. So, I hope everyone enjoyed that one. It was had a lot of drama in it, I must say. Hopefully we'll have a larger grid for you next week. And talking about next week, it is the Austrian Grand Prix. It's the second sprint of the season in Monday. So that should be rather interesting. Actually, seeing is there's obviously 3 DRS zones on that circuit. And yeah, next week is the Spanish Grand Prix for Tuesday. Of course, Dark Stomper leading that championship with me in second. And obviously I was out last week, so a bit more of an uphill struggle now. And Thursday is Monaco, the only time this first half of 2022 that we'll be seeing Monaco. It's only on the Thursday league for their first 12 races. So yeah, tomorrow night will be with Kem, that's for sure, and maybe Big Weir as well for the Spanish Grand Prix. And next week it's Austria on Monday. Thanks everyone for tuning in to watch this San Marino Grand Prix. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, it's really appreciated. And thanks for all the support so far. So yes, see you tomorrow with Kem, and Broomhandle will be back this Thursday. And obviously Kem's just been taking over that role, so thanks to him as well. So everyone, have a lovely Monday evening. Just a little shout out. happy anniversary, Jodie, for tomorrow night. Tomorrow, it's our anniversary tomorrow, and she is letting me race, so what a lovely lady. So anyway, thanks very much, and we'll see you tomorrow night.